Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to step out of the line. First class is for our premium passengers. The words sliced through the air like a knife. Miles stood there, suitcase in one hand, boarding pass in the other, dressed in a sleek black suit that probably cost more than the flight attendant's monthly salary. A gold Rolex peeked from under his cuff, and yet she looked at him like he didn't belong. He hadn't said a word, just held out his ticket. First class, seat 1A. But she, Heather Donnelly, mid-30s, stiff bun, eyes that never left his skin, had already made her decision. I am a premium passenger, Miles said, calm as the marble floor under his polished shoes. He held the ticket closer, letting the name match the ID in his other hand. She didn't even glance. Sir, please. This is for first class. You'll need to step aside, or I will call security. The line behind him hushed. Eyes burned on his back. A man 2 places behind, white, golf cap, smirked. Some people just can't read signs. That did it. Miles didn't raise his voice. Didn't argue. He reached into his jacket, pulled out his phone, dialed one number. It rang once. Yes, it's me. They did it again. A pause. Shut it down. Then he ended the call, tucked the phone back into his pocket, and stood there, quiet. 2 minutes later, the departure board flickered. One by one, every flight turned red. Cancelled. Gasps rolled through the terminal like a wave in a storm. Heather Donnelly's face went pale. What's going on? Miles didn't answer. Phones lit up. Agents whispered into radios. Supervisors were called from back offices. The airline was collapsing into chaos. All from one man they thought didn't belong in first class. But who was he? And how did he have the power to shut down an entire airline with one call? It began a week earlier in a quiet coffee shop in East Point, Atlanta. Miles Grant sat at his usual corner table, sipping espresso, typing on a laptop covered in scratches. No one looked twice at him. He liked it that way. He wasn't just another tech guy on lunch break. He was the founder and CEO of Cygnus Core, a billion-dollar security and authentication firm. If you'd ever unlocked your phone with your face or paid for something by tapping your card, chances were his technology had made it happen. He never talked about it. He didn't need to. Miles Grant. Came a familiar voice, sharp and grinning. The billionaire who hides in hoodies. It was Renee Dawson, an old college friend. Journalist. Quick-witted. Fearless. She slid into the seat across from him. Renee Dawson. The only person who ever beat me in a student council debate. She laughed. Still sore about that, huh? They talked for an hour. Life, politics, tech. And then she asked a question that stuck in his ribs. You ever think about speaking out? Miles paused. About what? The things you've seen. The way people treat you. Even now. You could open people's eyes. He looked into his coffee. That's not how change works, Renee. People don't listen to quiet black men in suits. They need to see the system break before they believe it exists. She leaned back. What would that look like? Miles didn't answer. 3 days later, he booked a first-class seat on a commercial flight to New York for a major tech summit. For once, he wanted to be seen. And that's when everything changed. At the gate, he stepped into the first-class line. Heather Donnelly looked up, saw him, frowned. Sir, you're in the wrong line. This is the first-class line. Yes, but it's reserved for premium passengers. You'll need the economy line. He raised his boarding pass. Seat 1A. That's first class. I understand, but this section is for our top-tier guests. I am top-tier. She stiffened. Sir, please don't make a scene. Scene. That word again. He wasn't shouting. Wasn't cursing. He was just standing. Breathing. Existing. A white businessman stepped forward, handed her his pass. She beamed. Welcome aboard, Mr. Whitaker. Thank you for flying with us again. Miles didn't move. And that's when he made the call. Now, terminals were in chaos. Flights canceled. Agents swarming. Passengers shouting. Heather kept glancing his way, heart hammering. 2 men in dark suits cut through the crowd. Not TSA. Not airport security. They moved like people used to holding power. They approached the gate. Where's Mr. Grant? One asked. She pointed with trembling fingers. HM. They nodded, walked to Miles. Mr. Grant, said the taller one, offering a respectful nod. We're here on behalf of the board. That was fast, Miles replied. You did just pull the fire alarm on an airline. Let's talk. He stepped aside. They led him through a VIP door. No one dared stop them. Inside the private lounge, blinds closed automatically. We hoped today would go differently, said the shorter man. Hope isn't a strategy, Miles replied. Word is spreading. 3 other airports already reacted. Investors are calling. Let them panic, Miles said. Let them feel it. The taller man leaned in. What's your endgame? Miles looked out the window. Not yet. Not until she says so. She. He didn't answer. 3 years earlier. A charity gala in San Francisco, hosted by the same airline. Miles was keynote speaker. At the entrance, a security guard blocked his path. Need to see credentials. I'm Miles Grant. Guest of honor. Don't see your name. His assistant, Tasha, stepped in. His name's on the flyer. Another guard rushed up, hand on holster. Hey, hands where I can see him. He's getting his invite, Tasha snapped. The crowd turned. Phones out. Whispering. Eventually, an organizer arrived, waved them through. Honest mistake, they said. Miles smiled. Inside, something hardened. After his speech, a young black woman in a catering uniform approached. Mr. Grant, what you do matters. If you ever speak out, I'll be listening. Your name? Sierra James. He never forgot it. Back in the present. The board chair called. You've grounded every flight. We're hemorrhaging. I told you, Miles said. I'd only license Cygnus core systems to airlines that followed equity standards. You refused. We can apologize. Suspend the gate agent. I'm not interested in apologies. Then what do you want? Sierra James. Who? She worked for you. Catering. Left after being harassed. You'll find her. Offer her whatever she wants. When she tells me she feels safe boarding your planes, I'll consider lifting the shutdown. The suited men stared. Tell the board, Miles said. They have 48 hours. Tasha burst in, phone shaking. Miles, you need to see this. A video, Miles at the gate. The denial. The call. The red screens. The caption, Black CEO denied boarding first class, then shuts down entire airline with one call. Let it spread, he whispered. By noon, it had 2 million views. By 1 p.m., national headlines. Who is Miles Grant? Trended worldwide. Still, Miles sat in silence. Tasha paced. Half the airport's frozen. Senators are tweeting. You look like a superhero. I'm not. But you sure look like one today. Renee called. Found her. Sierra James. New York. Nonprofit. Teaching black girls to fly. She saw the video. She knows it was you. Is she coming? On the way. She's crying. Said to tell you thank you. An hour later, a black town car pulled up. Sierra stepped out. Jeans. Sneakers. Red hoodie. Lift as we climb. Tasha met her. This way. In the lounge, Miles stood. They didn't speak. Then she hugged him. I saw what you did, she whispered. I did it for us. They sat. He offered her full control of a new division inside Cygnus Core. Build your airline. Equity-led. People first. Why now, she asked. He gestured to the terminal chaos. Because now, the world is watching. Just then, executives entered. Heather had gone public. Denied everything. Claimed Miles was aggressive. Miles didn't flinch. She's rewriting the truth, Sierra said. She's trying to paint me as the dangerous black man. The CEO offered a handshake. Don't waste time, Miles said. This isn't about one agent. It's your culture. Every gate, every stare. What do you want? 3 things. Public apology to Sierra by name. Third-party audit. Rehire her, triple salary. Head of equity innovation. They agreed. Then Tasha interrupted. Problem. Heather gave an interview. Called you threatening. Said she feared for her safety. Miles watched the footage. Then said, let's go live. They walked to the terminal. Renee waited. We're live in 3-2. Miles spoke into the mic. I was denied boarding not because of policy, but prejudice. I was told I didn't belong. When I stood my ground, I became a threat. Why? Because of how I look. He looked at Sierra. I didn't shut down an airline because I was angry. I did it because I could. For every person who's ever been told they weren't enough. Sierra stepped up. He didn't threaten anyone. He stood his ground. For the first time, someone listened. The world erupted. Hashtag he made the call. But Heather wasn't done. She filed a lawsuit. Emotional distress. Public humiliation. Miles smiled coldly. She wants to dance. Let's write the truth. More came. Death threats. Sabotage. They didn't retreat. They launched Flight 1. A black-owned, equity-led airline. Their first flight lifted off from Atlanta. The co-pilot, a black woman. Sierra on the PA. I used to clean these planes. Today, I own one. And she wasn't flying alone anymore. Because revolution didn't begin on the runway. It began above it.